Okay. Um, we're going to start by going around and just introducing someone or introducing ourselves. As Joanne said, not everyone knows everyone. And so we're going to start there. I am Amita. Um, I have been coming to Fairy Congress and the Guy in Congress for a couple of years now. And really excited about these new chapters that we're opening up and really excited about working with all you guys. Right now, I am in Miami, Florida for another day. My RV is actually parked just outside of DC in Maryland. And when we get there, we're going to start heading west, heading over to the Pacific Northwest, Northern California, um, Portland, etc. So that's me. You want to go?
Hi, everybody. My name is Vince. I am Emmy's partner, and I've been with her on the journey for the last couple of years, and hopefully many, many more. What am I saying?
Whatever you want to say.
Oh, hi, everybody.
Who wants to go next? I
I
can
can
start
go.
calling. Okay, go ahead, Terry.
My name is Terry Gilbert. I've been to the last three fairy congresses, and I recently moved from Seattle about 6 months ago to Vancouver Island. And so I am now living in Canada, and I just last month I flew out to Toronto, packed up all of my dad's stuff, got rid of all the extra stuff, put it all into a 15-foot trailer and drove all the way across the country and set them up again. So I'm just beginning to come back into my body and myself. That was a pretty big deal. And we've almost got my dad set up here. So I'm back and available.
Thank you,
I might
Terry.
as well go next because I'm also on Vancouver Island. I'm Canadian. I've been here a long time. Um, um, I have I haven't been to the last couple congresses because I was over in Ireland for a year, and then I couldn't get across the border at one point. Um, but I have probably been to five or six. Um, what else? I'm glad I came in at this point, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about this and how it comes together. It's exciting.
Where on the island
And
are you, Joanne?
yeah, where is it, Terry or Tony?
Terry.
Terry, where are you?
I'm in
On
North
Vancouver.
Cowichan.
I'm in Saanich, down in the peninsula. Right
Excellent.
today, I'm on the last few days. I'm on Salt Spring. I'm here often as well.
Awesome.
Here in the Cowichan Valley,
Hmm.
closest to Cobble Hill or Duncan or
Duncan.
Stump.
Yeah.
Oh, from the U.S.
Yes, but I grew up I grew up in Canada, so
Oh,
I'm
well,
a dual
great.
citizen.
Mm, let's meet up.
Who's next?
I can
Well, I
go.
will jump in. We've got some beat you to it, Penny.
Okay.
You got to be fast. I'm Jan. I've been to every single Fairy Congress since 2003. I am best known for my outfits, which include the white go-go boots, 6 foot, 6 inch, 7 inch heels. And people meet me and they're like, "Oh my God, you're the guy with the go-go boots." So besides wearing go-go boots and looking fabulous, I've been doing the weather shamanism and the plant shamanism and teaching shamanic workshops. And in the process, so I just want to let people know I did start the Fairy Council back in 2003 because I would show up with big dragons in my bedroom and I didn't know what to do. um, but I have been doing the website, the newsletter, organizing the photography, um, doing the interviews with presenters, putting them on YouTube, creating a YouTube channel, creating all the social media. So I've kind of done, doing the workshop board, like laying that out so everybody knows where to go, kind of keeping things surprisingly organized. So I am now an elder, and I am a valuable resource, just to let people know. Thank you.
Yes, you are.
And I still have those go-go boots. And if you win the lotto, I will do the go-go dance with the heels. Okay, enough.
We have an upcoming in-person event in August, right? For this group right here. I'm just saying, yeah, and those go-go boots definitely work in August.
Ingrid, you're next.
Okay, I can go next. I'm Penny. I have been to all the Gaian Congresses and just one Fairy Congress. I am excited to see what's going to happen and how we can weave things together and help support not only our own group, but the world, including all the subtle allies.
I'm Ingrid. I was at last year's Fairy Congress. I live in Northern California, and I've been talking to animals and nature beings for a while now. So I'm really excited to work with this group.
Hey everybody, I'm Calvin or Compost or Conduit. And yeah, I came to my first Fairy Congress in 2022 and pretty quickly got looped into taking care of the Lou. You guys remember me as the Pooh Bear, probably. Well, anyhow, yeah, I have been through a lot of transformational portals over the years since then, and it feels like I'm ready to step into more and more of a serious place of participation and co-creation. And I'm really so grateful to have the opportunity to do so with such amazing souls as yourselves.
Okay, I guess I'll go because I think I might be the last one. I am Lady Fern. Can you guys hear me okay? Did I successfully unmute? Good. I'm getting better at this. I've been coming to the Congress since the second year. I missed the first year. My mom was a presenter then, and I was being a rebellious 20-year-old who thought that for once I wasn't going to go to pagan church camp with my mom and her friends, and instead went with one of my peers to the SEA instead, to a historical reenactment of the medieval times, and had a pretty terrible time in which they had mock inquisitions that were quite traumatizing. And then I heard about my mom's adventure tales from Fairy Congress and how righteous they were. And I realized that my rebellion against being my mom's right hand and trying to individuate to a party with my peers was lame, and that continuing to roll with my mom was the better alternative. Because, being raised with liberal parents, it's hard to rebel. There's not much I could have done but gone conservative, and I didn't want that. So
Your
I was
mom is
like, I
more than
will go
liberal.
to this other party. And then I was like, no, the other parties are lame. Back to pagan church camp with my mom. And then I was actually really quite amazed that Fairy Congress wasn't actually a pagan witchy event, but it was mostly metaphysical New Agers and interdimensional people. But I was like, well, it was just kind of dumbfounded to me to meet people who weren't witches that were even into this kind of thing, and realize that how much more weird magical people were out there other than just our limited congregation of heathens that I knew, and started coming and regularly. And I since then have only missed 2 years, which were only from extreme illness and contagiousness, which would have been a detriment to the village. So I did not come. But all the other years, I've made it to the best of my abilities, because this is my incarnate mission this lifetime already, to be a fae, changeling, magical teacher, priestess, lineage holder, hereditary witch, reclaiming the old ways and reinventing them for the new era. And some of my specialties that I do well, as many of you know, I'm a fairy enchantress, glamour, sex witch, and daughter of Pan, and represent for the Wild Worlds and the Young Wildling crew. And I also am not just a party pagan, I'm actually a smartass who cannot stop learning. And I am super cerebral mystic nut who cannot stop studying ancient history from all over the world, from many traditions. I got my secular education in anthropology, history, and world religions, specializing in Irish history, particularly both in the secular academy system through basic Muggle history of Ireland, as well as pagan mystery school, specializing in Celtic, Druid, fairy magic. I teach at the Fairy Congress themes of Celtic, Druid, fairy tree lore and the Ohm system of the magical tree calendar and how it relates to the cosmic world tree in the interdimensional realms. And I also, like the last few years, I've been branching out doing fairy glamour enchantment magic for self-esteem bolstering and magical enchantment for people becoming their own consorts in magnanimous exalted beings full of love, bliss, beauty, and enchantment to enrapture the world around them. And I like to lead twilight rituals. And the last few years, we've been doing herbal fairy elixir communion song and dance communion rites at twilight. And on Saturday nights, we have been hosting the Wild World All Night Dusk Till Dawn Vigil for many, many years, which we can thank Jan to being our ally, to helping us get set up years and years ago when our friend Sada and him had schemed to make an appropriate place for us young wildlings to do our thing off in the distance so we didn't offend all the sleepers. But also know that we still have to have a place for the nighttime fairies and for devotional practices outside of the usual 9 to 5 conference format of workshops, which is a little bit limited to fairy timelines. You know, we're still working with that human and fairy aspect of our realities. So I've also worked in the kitchen and the kitchen and done volunteer coordinator service in the past and many things. And will continue the Congress so long as I'm breathing. Which will not end because I'm long-winded, and hope to make it to keep coming back until I'm too old to go camping. But with some other elders that are still octogenarians and representing, I'm glad to continue to have hope to do this long term. And also, for that matter, I want to give a shout out to our eldermost companion of the feral crew. We are not just the youth crew, we actually are a multi-generational group. With Ezekiel as our honorary octogenarian, showing it's not just the youth group grown up. We actually are a multi-generational affair. Anyways, that's enough of a long-winded attempt at brevity of self-introduction, and I will let the meeting carry on.
I think we still have Douglas, Jess, and Summer.
And you know,
Okay.
I forgot to add in about what I do, so I'll do that at the end if that's okay, Jan.
Okay, I'm Douglas,
Hi,
and
Doug.
this is Connie, and I've been going to the Congress for I don't know over a decade now, and Connie's been a few years behind me in terms of that, but we've been involved and love the experience and the people and the experiences and the unseen realms, and we're here to support. We'll see how things go in this transition. So, you want to add something, Connie?
No.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Douglas.
I'll go. Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica, Jessie, whatever. Um, I've been actually last year was the first year I was able to attend Fairy Congress. I've known about it for the last 20 plus years. It's been on my bucket list for that long. I used to live on Orcas Island for 10 plus years, so I know a lot of folks from there. Um, yeah, and life just kind of wasn't conducive to allowing me these kinds of things until more recently. So I had the pleasure of attending last year. It was an amazing experience, something I've never experienced before in any one place. Though I've also, been a part of a lot of the very same people that attend. So we have those kinds of experiences in a much smaller realm. I've been working with fairies and other worldly beings pretty much all my life. I have studied and practiced Wicca and a lot of other metaphysical style lifestyles. And I've also studied the world religions and things like that, and a lot of historical type stuff. Um, Yeah, I was an herbalist and holistic health practitioner until very recently. For the last 20 years, I just found out that my body is completely allergic to all the things I've been working with. So I'm looking to start a jewelry artisan business, and that's what I'm looking towards doing this year. Um, I'm still wrapping up some stuff for my last business right now, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to fit into all of this. I do want to, at the very least, be in a supportive role. Um, I would love to be more involved than that, though. I'm just not quite sure what that looks like yet. So, with all of this, so
And that's totally okay,
yeah,
Jess.
yeah. So I'm working on it, though.
We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Shall I go? Are we just doing introductions or are we also talking about what we're committing to?
We're just doing introductions. We haven't started the ceremony yet. I still
Okay.
got to explain it all.
Okay, great. Sorry I was late. Um, yeah, so I'm Summer. And I came to my first Fairy Congress, I think, in 2014. Um, and then I didn't go to another one for a bit, but I was apprenticing with Diana Pepper at Tree Frog Farm for a couple years. I met her at the Fairy Congress and then proceeded to work with her and basically like started meeting nature spirits in spirit form through her essences. And then eventually was like, oh, I should study herbalism. So I meet them actually in their plant form as well. So I did that for a little while. And the herbalism brought me into ancestral work. I took a workshop with someone who was using uh, essential oils as plant spirit guides to do ancestral work. And that opened me into, working with my lineages. And so I'm now an ancestral lineage healing practitioner. I also do earth ritual, animism, nature spirit connection work. I'm deepening into that. I have a spirit marriage with a nature spirit here locally that informs a lot of my own connection practices. And yeah, my own deep personal, I'll just say mythology of star lineages and being a nature spirit for probably most of my time here on Earth. Although I've been a human for, I don't know, about 6,000 years now. So I'm kind of a little bit used to the human thing. But I still understand a lot of the people who are like, I don't get this. I'm like, I'm right there with you. Even after 6,000 years. And I do a lot of client work with people who are in those kinds of either personal experiences with being beyond human or lineage experiences, like things that come through the ancestors that are sometimes hard to integrate. So that seems to be some of my focus. And Yeah, and then just singing with the land. That's been the biggest thing that's been coming through lately. It's like the land just wants to be sung with and to and through. So, yeah. um, yeah, I think that's what I'll end with.
Thank you, Summer. Um, all right, it is 7:27, and I want to respect everyone's time, and we have a big journey, so I think it's time that we get to it. Is everybody ready? Awesome. So, one of the things that I didn't say in my introduction that I do need to say is that I am a fairy human hybrid. And what I mean by that is for the first, how old am I now? Like 49, so what, 46 and a half, 47, something like that, years of my life, I was pretty much a human who had these random abilities that I couldn't control but would come out by accident. I could control the weather. I could talk to trees, like understand them as if they were speaking English to me, no matter where I was in the world, et cetera, et cetera. Had a bunch of things like that. And then I found the Fairy Congress and it woke up the fairy inside me. And I was told that I am not fully human and I never was, and that I am absolutely straight fairy. But that had been closed off in my brain to allow me to have a human experience before I brought in the fairy and tried to change the world. And that was literally what I was told. I didn't necessarily want that objective. And when I heard it, I was like, are you kidding me? But here I am. And I have spent the better part of a few years now going through this very fascinating transformation that the Fairy Congress absolutely sparked in me. And it's kind of why I'm sitting here today and why we are doing this. The reason this is important is because I am a visionary, and that is what I am here in service to be. And with that, I had been told about these rites of passage that we could go through as a group to create a cohesive field for all of us to be able to work together and to create basically a collective. And just so you understand my definition, that I have been given from my fairy ancestry, is that a collective is actually what the fairies and many, many other beings use to communicate. Of course, they can all talk and, all of this, but they don't hold memories like humans do. They keep them all in a ball together. So, for example, everyone on this call, every memory you've ever had, if you were a fairy, is all in a ball together and we can all access it. And it's not about, weird things like, oh, I've seen you pee or, anything like that. It's more like we work in harmony together. And so, if you think about your body, your left foot knows what your right arm is doing. It's like that. Okay, so that's what a collective is. And there are, in my definition, and there are many different many different collectives. My understanding is that they're based in groups. So there's like a fairy collective, like every fairy that's ever existed is on the collective, right? And has access to everything on the collective. And then if you're a fairy queen, there's a queen collective, and that is there as well. There's a weaver collective for those who are creation fairies, like I am. Et cetera, et cetera. And so then you have your ancestral collective, and they all work together, but they all give different information based on who you are and what you're tapped into. Obviously, a flower fairy doesn't need to understand what a tree fairy is doing as much as they need to know what the next flower is doing, right? Doesn't mean they aren't connected and that they don't have that access, but it's more like a specialization. So when we were building this new council, I guess you could say, the World Tree Collective, Summer and Jan and Camilla and Terry and a whole bunch of us, worked really, really hard on trying to figure out what would be best. And what I kept hearing from my ancestors is that we need a collective. That's why it's so hard for us, is because we're all going in different directions. And communication can be hard, especially over Zoom, over cities, over states, over countries, over all of it, with all of our busy lives. And if we had a collective, then we could work in tandem and together in a way that is cohesive and supportive, not only for Fairy Congress, but for each individual person. And so I got that was so very, very important for us to build in, now that we were being given the opportunity to do that, is to begin to work in this way. And that is what this ceremony of commitment is about, is that my hope anyway, because you're all here, is that you are here to make a commitment to work on the World Tree Collective in one way or another, whether it's a supporting role, whether it is a coordinating role or a point person role, choose your word, and how much time and space you have, whatever it may be, that's what you're here for. At least that's what I'm hoping. And so this ceremony was something that was given to me. Jan actually asked me earlier, like, who gave you the ceremony? Because I didn't write it. And I had gone into a journey, and I went to actually the Weavers Collective, and I was like, okay, guys, you're the creators, right? And I'm a part of you, so show me what this is supposed to look like. And part of my ancestral line came in, my birth giver and her birth giver and her birth giver. And the very first of us came in, and all of these amazing weavers came in, and they gave me this information. So the first thing I want to say about it is that I don't just work with the fairies. It is where I'm strongest, because it's what I am. But they're behind us, and they're wanting to be a part of this too. They are working in tandem with us right now. We haven't even called in a coning yet, and they are working in tandem with us to make this happen. The second thing I want to say is that through all of this, many of us have been getting the message that one of the things the new council needs is collaboration. Because all of the subtle beings, all of our allies, they have their own council, they have their own Congress right next to ours. And the message we were getting was that, why aren't we doing this in tandem? Why aren't we doing it together? Instead of them having their Congress and us having ours, and we're communing together through that, why is it not just one big Congress? Why is it not just one big council? And even yesterday in the visioning, there was a lot said to that about how they want to be a part of ours. They want a voice in our Congress. They want us to have a voice in theirs, etc. And I got so excited when people started talking about that yesterday, because I was like, oh, yay, that's exactly what tomorrow's about. And so that's another part of this, is that we're inviting our allies in, all of them, all of the Fairy Congress allies. And in this ceremony, they're going to have a space to speak. Now, when I say that, we're going to kind of go into a slower breathing theta state. We're not going to quite go on a journey, but we are building a coning. And the reason is because I need your participation. And usually when we go on a journey, we have our experience, we come back, and then we talk about it. And what's going to happen in this, and let me not speak out of turn here, hold on just a moment. What's going to happen in this is we're going to invite the allies to stand and address us as they believe supportive for this ceremony of commitment and creation. And those words, I wanted to make sure I read them because they were very intentional, like they told me word for word what to write down. So what's going to happen is we're all going to be in this state, and then maybe Summer is going to hear someone say, hey, I need you to speak for me. And in that moment, there's going to be a space for Summer to speak up and say, okay, this being is standing next to me and they want to say this. They're representing this, whatever. Or maybe Jan or whoever. All of you are invited to have this experience, of course. And if an ally shows up to you asking you to bring the message, then it's important that you speak up for them too, not just yourself. Does this make any sense? Yes? Is everyone on board with this so far? Rock and roll. So they're going to go first, actually, and they're going to give us their commitments to us as part of the World Tree Collective. They're going to actually, I'm assuming based on what I've been told, they're going to actually outline how they are going to support us specifically in this new World Tree Collective. Now, that doesn't mean they won't go above and beyond that. It doesn't mean anything like that, but they're going to give us an idea of how we can work together. Then we're each going to stand up in the space and do our commitment ceremony. And we'll go over that in just a second. And then at the end, I'm told that one of the ancient weavers will finalize our ceremony. So that's kind of what it's going to look like. I will tell you one of the things that we have never done before, and I want to tell you beforehand. When Lindsay does, and I'm using this as an example for those that you know, when Lindsay does a coning, she does this infinity wave through the body and then from you, to the sun and all of that. We're going to use that infinity wave, but what I was told is first we're going to do an infinity wave inside. So it's going to be up to the crown and down to the or soul star and earth star. The soul star is about 6 inches above your head. The earth star is about 6 inches below your feet in the earth, for those of you who don't know. And so we're going to do an infinity wave there. Then we're all going to connect together through infinity waves. So what you're going to imagine is everyone on the screen, you're at one end of the infinity wave and you have a connection to each person on the screen in an infinity wave. Is this making sense? Because it's about to get more complicated. I just want to make sure. Okay. Then we're going to create a place where we together are at one point of the infinity wave and connect to the coning place itself, meaning the meeting space that we're having. And then from there, we're going to connect all of us as we are all together with our allies, with the coning, the meeting space in the center of the infinity. Does everyone understand what I'm saying? We good? So that's going to be the hardest part, is connecting in that way, because it's kind of a lot and it builds a lot. And once we do that, the ceremony will start. Okay? Okay. All right. So I'm just going to ask everyone to get comfortable. It is probably best if you have your feet on the floor if you have access to that. And if not, that's okay. You can pretend. All right. So how we're going to start this coning is I just want you to connect in with yourself. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And just begin to pull your energy into yourself, continuing to take those deep breaths as you feel your center. As you move from your center around your belly button into your heart space, in the center of your chest, just keep breathing and know that that is your goal, is to concentrate the essence of you in the center of your chest. Good. And now once you're there, I want you to notice that light. That's you. That light that's right there. You feel it. You see it. You may not have realized it existed, but it's right there. It's right in the center of your chest. It's you. And I want you to take that light and I want you to expand it. But I want you to expand it in a very intentional way. I want you to begin a beam of light moving from your heart center all the way arcing around you up to your soul star, which again is about 6 inches above your head. And allow that light, once it reaches the soul star, to come back down and reconnect with your heart space on the other side like an oval. Good. Now that you're connected in your center again, I want you to take it down the opposite way you just came, down towards the earth, arcing around until you reach your earth star, about 6 inches below your feet, buried in the earth. And you're going to arc it back up on the other side to finish the infinity into your heart space. Now I want you to follow that track. Do it again. Move up from the center, around and up to your soul star, and back down to your heart center. Then move it on the opposite side, down to your earth star and back up on the other side to your heart center, reinforcing that infinity symbol. Do it one more time up to the soul star on one side, down to the heart space on the other, down from the heart space to the earth star on the first side, and back up to the heart space on the other. And allow that to just keep moving. Create a single motion, faster and faster and faster. Allow that light to grow brighter and brighter and brighter. And just about the time you feel yourself start to hum, reach out to the other people on this call, sending an infinity wave, using Zoom to connect, using this meeting space that we have online as the center of the infinity symbol. Connect with Ingrid. Connect with Terry. Connect with Summer. Connect with Penny. Connect with the Lady Fern. Connect with Joanne. Connect with Jess. Connect with Jan. Connect with Douglas. Connect with Carol. Connect with Devin. Connect with Calvin. Connect with Vince. And connect with Amita. You have 13 infinity waves coming out of you, connecting to others on the call, plus the one you have within yourself. So let's get bigger. We're calling in the coning. Creating a meeting space, a crystalline diamond shape. Inside there are rows of seating that line the walls. All over, a vast meeting space. There's a floor in the center where there's a podium where people will go to speak. But for now, as we call beings in, they will file into the seats. And if you have that in your mind's eye now, see us as the collective that we are. All 14 of us in a circle of connection, creating a cohesive infinity to the coning space. All of us standing on one end, the center being the infinite point to move through dimensions, and the other end being this diamond-shaped crystalline space. Allow that to reinforce and get stronger. Now that we are connected to the building, I call in Saint Germain and the Archangel Michael. May they hold heart space, guide us, and keep us safe. I call in the Deva of Fairy Congress. I call in Pan, Ani. I call in the fairies, the Sasquatch, the She, the mermaids, the dragons, all star races, the gnomes, the elves. I call in the essence of connection. I call in all of the eastern elementals. I call in all of the western elementals. I call in all of the southern elementals. I call in all of the northern elementals. You may notice this is out of order. I was told this is on purpose. I call in the unicorns, the satyrs, the bees. I call in the wisdom and codes of creation. I call in the collective. I call in the Deva of truth and wisdom. I call in the Deva of joy and the Deva of play. If any of you feel I have missed someone or have someone to add, please unmute yourself and do so now.
The Deva of collaboration.
The primordial lava beings, as well as the crystalline primordial water beings, the serpentine energies.
Our ancestors,
Mm.
all the ancestors.
I call upon finder fairies to help us find the way on the path of discovery of the new structure, to help guide us to facilitate complete, cohesive, and supported structure for our play, worship, and merriment. So let it be.
Anyone else?
I also call in Fermina.
Say that again, Ingrid. You were muted. You were muffled.
Oh, I also call in Cernunnos.
Calling in the tree spirits and any old gods who wish to work with us in a loving way.
Yeah, Gwynupnud wants to be named as well.
Artemis. Welcome.
I'm calling in the great Douglas fir species. They are behind me here on Vancouver Island to assist and the intelligence of water.
I'm being asked to call in the wolves.
Calling in Freya as well.
Hmm.
Calling in the whales.
Dear Quetzalcoatl.
Calling in all of our animal allies.
The overlighting deva and all the devas of healing of all sorts.
Calling upon the Chi, the Tuatha De Danann, and all the shining ones, and the twilight world walking, edge walking fairies.
Hmm. Calling in the spirits of the fungus across all dimensions and the spirits of the one-celled ones. Hmm.
It's interesting. I'm calling in the bodhisattvas. Welcome.
Mhm. Really welcoming any ascended ones, ascended masters who wish to come and join and co-create with us. So welcome here.
I'm calling in the guardians of time and space.
The plant kingdom is asking to be part of this, part of the wisdom.
You mean
And
we're, oh, go Joanne.
and I'm also the Sasquatch.
Calling in more clearly Yggdrasil and the Norns.
Dragons. I think we've already said that already, but
You see how quickly our space is filled. Standing room only.
or
And even as it gets bigger, there's still standing room only because so many are wanting to be a part of this. So many are joining us on this journey. Okay.
calling in the deva of harmony. Welcoming that essence.
Now see the diamond shape full in your mind's eye. Be there. Sit in your seat and look around and notice how many others, how many beings are with us, how divine this space is. And again, take your light, your heart space light, and create that infinity running through the seats, running through the crowd, connecting with and encompassing everyone in the space and the space itself. Good. Just take a moment and feel that connection. Feel the love that's being sent through it and the joy and the sheer possibilities moving through you as everyone in the space is connected. Now, we invite all of our allies, any of our allies, who wish to stand and address us as they believe supportive for this ceremony of commitment and co-creation. State who you are and what you are offering. This is the time that if a being comes and speaks to you, please speak up. We are the fairy weavers. We are here to help with your visions and your co-creation. We are here to help you remember the joy, to help you remember that while this is a commitment, it is not an obligation, it is a gift. To remind you that you are a gift to us. And we hope that we are a gift for you. Thank you for agreeing to do this with us. We are most overjoyed. Thank you. Is anyone else being asked to speak up?
You do. So, I'm going to let Pan speak. So Pan is offering the play and the delight and grounded tending to the space and to our journeys in their highest form.
Fantastic. Thank you, Pan.
I'm speaking on behalf of the whales. The whale, this is the whale king, and there's a lot of disturbance and a lot of sadness in the realm of the whales. He's asking that just prayers. He's missing prayers from the humans. So there are a number, I think there's like 20 whales who have beached themselves and died recently in the last month. They're confused. Their electromagnetic frequent or guidance system is off, and they are very saddened. And they are also saddened by the they want more prayers. Simple prayers will do. There's a time of, as you know, great change. Oh, thank you.
That inspired me to call upon the other whale, the fairy whale, as Orion would say, or to call upon the holy well of Bridget to bring us her healing, her inspiration, and her clarity, that we may be good spokespeople of cunning words for clarity and directive leadership of our people through these times. Praise Bridget.
I'll just speak for Gwynedd and it's kind of a complex message, but it's about relationship and breaking of promises, of war and protection, of that which is sacred. He's basically trying to say that there are many things within many of our ancestries that need to be tended, and they're best tended through love and relationship. But some of that may need to allow for difficult conversations around things that went wrong, or allowing old wounds to be tended, or just allowing ourselves to see where the harm and the shadow came in, and not be afraid of maybe some of the fierceness or the wildness that has had to come in to tend to that, and like give it a place at the table, and an appreciation. And he really loves the way that the waters tend to those wounds, and like honoring those feminine water spirit beings that hold a wisdom, kind of a immune system response to some of the toxicities and harms that the earth holds, that human history holds. And yeah, it's just like engage with love and respect, and things will go in a good way.
I'm feeling a simple prayer wanting to come through, which is, yeah, to send gratitude for all those, to really resonate that gratitude for all of us remembering our power, and for all of us remembering that the power never really belongs to us, and for us all remembering that the power is meaningless unless we use it for actually righteous causes and for those with less power. Oh.
I have a message from the mermaids. Evolution often looks like destruction. But remember, for destruction, there must be creation. That is what we offer. And what we will continue to support with is recognizing your destruction as creation, as we do.
I have a message from Dragon, bringing the fire of transformation, an authentic expression to have us remember our true selves.
I have a message from my fairy companion, excuse me, who says that while we seek to remain malleable like water so that our collective can flow together and flow with our evolution and the changes that will occur along the way within us and in the world around us, worlds around us, that we also need to make sure we have a solid container for it to be able to retain a shape, even if that shape changes. The way that if you want to boil water, you have to put it in a pot. And the same way that when we cast a circle, we contain that energy so that we can raise that energy and then send it off to its goal.
I'm going to follow that with a message from the Douglas fir. They're pressing at my back. The coastal Douglas fir, the mature ones. Okay. They want me to remind us all that they are the sentinels of the land. They've always told me that about themselves, but they're really impressing that right now. They watch out for all, and they are offering an encapsulation of their energy for our work, which is quite beautiful. And to remember that this is tall work, and we are up to it, and to be sort of follows with what you were saying about the cauldron of think of our deep roots as well as our great height when we do this work. It all needs to be anchored. I wish I could express the essence of how it actually feels, but that's the main message.
I would like to take just a moment to call Mary Water, who just joined us, into the space. Mary, welcome. If you could, we'll give you a minute while we're doing our thing to create an infinity loop in between you and the coning that we are in. Please, if you would. And allow your helping spirits to create the rest that we have all done together so that you are with us. Thank you. Right now we are speaking for our allies and the ones we've called in who have messages of connection and work for us and with us.
I speak on behalf of the guardians of space and time, and their message is about this space itself. The space of Congress, the space especially that the Fairy and Human Relations Congress has always occupied, has been a central space because it spans across all dimensions in a way that nothing else does. So it is a part of everything and also a part in itself. And this space is, since it has been weaved, is now a special extension of that, overlaying this to all dimensions. And it is, what I'm understanding is that it's central to everything. You are always here. We are always here together. And this space persists not just throughout our use of it in Congress, but it also serves to help elevate the energy of all the dimensions as we shift through the circle.
I'm feeling called to speak on behalf of the Bodhisattvas. There's particular interest in their tending the wholeness and integrity of the healing and transformation that's happening, and the non-duality of that, almost like in support not only for us but also the nature spirits and like the larger interdimensional weaving of all that is. They're offering their intelligence, their healing, their support, their allyship to this for the larger integrity of consciousness and creation.
I have a message from the gnomes. We will always offer you an abundance of silliness. None of you are silly enough, and we love Congress for its ability for silliness. And yet, we will offer more silliness. One day you will be worthy of our silliness. We look forward to that day.
I'm speaking on behalf of. Oh, hold on, let me connect here. This is a huge black dragon, and he wishes to welcome you into the wildness of this earth. So you have through the years really proven yourself through your dedication at Fairy Congress, working with mountains and rivers and water and fire. We've seen you grow. We have been watching you. There's a group of dragons who through the eras. Sorry, I'm having a hard time in English here. Have been seen as war dragons or chaos dragons or hurricane dragons. Don't be afraid of us. Know that we are showing up because we know that you can handle us. You know how to, even though we can be incredibly menacing and frightening for you, you have the skills to become dragon riders. When you see a hurricane, there's a chaos dragon or a war dragon. Many of you have be brave. You have become dragon riders, and with that fierceness that you have stepped into, that bravery, that unapologetic, you've learned to step into your power and out on the dance floor of the ages. And we really honor that you are stepping out and that you no longer apologize for being big and wild. We like that. And we want to bond with humans that are of that ilk, is that a word? But there are also Sasquatch, and they talk about tectonic beings that through the ages were called trolls and very misunderstood, but there are beings that are glacier beings and tectonic beings and volcanic beings and water in deep water current beings and beings of the depth of the. There's some beings that really haven't been seen before. If you encounter them, don't be afraid. You know how to stay in your power or be in your power. Present yourself to these beings. Tell them who you are and that you wish to learn from them and work with them. There are some other beings like Neptune of the oceans. There's some big oceanic beings. Don't be afraid of working with high altitude airstreams. You are stepping into your powers, and we are honoring that. And take this as an honoring, but through the years, we have stayed away from humans. We don't understand them, but we've been watching you, and we feel like we can co-work with you. So that's this is an offering of a friendship, an allyship. Don't be afraid of us. Speak up, be in your power, work with us. It's been a long time since we've worked with humans, but we've been watching you. Oh, thank you.
I keep being shown like a image of the Spirited Away bathhouse. And they're saying that there may be beings that come in that need some tending and don't fear them, you know, and that we're actually creating a space that actually allows for some of the healing that they need as well. And yeah, you know, connection is only as possible and as deep as we allow fear to not interfere with that. So there's a lot of like great powers that are they're like, we're here to back you, and so trust what comes through.
Through most of this time, I've been there. There's not really a message at this point yet, but maybe bringing it up, it will. Is this a water horse? You know, this is the year, interestingly, for the Chinese fire horse, but I keep seeing a water horse where it's over the water. It's sort of semi-transparent, but it's mostly white. And the lower part of its legs are the foam of the sea, like foaming waves. It's just really crystal clear. Um, just it's just asking that we be aware of it. Maybe more will come later. Yeah.
I'm hearing a song. Iko mana, iko mana, ai ni me, ai ni me, hola, hola.
I'm just hearing we need more of this.
Yeah.
I really love what you said, Summer. I just was a ripple effect about these babies. It was you that talked about these babies coming in. Summer?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, whoever talked about that not long of these other young, and that they would get some healing from even just us doing this and whatever may follow. And it just came so clear to me that there's all these levels of beings being supported, coming back into alignment or aligning with or having some healing, not just ourselves and who we help and beyond, but it's going to happen on all kinds of levels because we've created this. And that's remarkably beautiful.
All right. Is there anyone else of our allies that is wishing to speak at this time?
Yeah, I've been getting nudged by a few and they keep coming, so. So the first group is the Arcturians. So their message is, we are the Arcturians, and we are here to help you grow in any direction in which you wish to that is in alignment with your highest good. We can help fill out many of the branches on the upper levels of consciousness and reality and help you move through dimensions in many ways you have not yet thought of. So if you continue to work with us, we can add to most of your experiences. We are here, we are ready, we are available. We'd like you to always keep that in mind. And from Gaia, she's been offering to, well, it's not offering, it's a reminder that she holds this entire container too, and to stay, and to, she's providing a lot of this grounding that we're standing on. And the third is Cernunnos. When somebody was talking about beings that would appear that would need healing, he made his presence known and wanted to remind us that he is very, very gifted when it comes to healing nature spirits, especially that are wounded. They have to want it and they have to ask for it, but when they do, he's very gentle and very skilled.
Who is that?
Cernunnos?
Cerninos, okay.
Okay, for the sake of us still needing to do our part, we're doing a last call. Anyone else?
I'm getting a message from some beings that we didn't specifically call in, and that is the gray beings that a lot of people refer to as ETs. It's still not clear if they are perhaps one and the same as the Fae, if they come from a similar branch, what exactly they're doing here, but it just wanted to, there's one in particular who's coming through and wanting to let us know that with the big changes that are happening right now with their existence kind of beginning to be disclosed into the mainstream, and there's a lot of fear and ontological shock that is happening and will continue to happen, that the space that we are holding here with the Congress and the work we're doing is extremely important, and that the main reason that they're here is basically looking out for our planet, because we have a very, very unique and special planet that we are part of. And the hybridization programs that they've been doing have to do with helping preserve us, as we're getting closer and closer to the point of potentially destroying ourselves. And they can be absolutely terrifying to work with, and that sometimes they've caused harm, but it's for the whole good of all of us involved, and that they will be making their presence more and more known, and on some level will be involved in our work.
Perfect.
One more. This is the Fairy King. And I want you to go to the wild world. I want you to dance all night. I want you to drink herbal concoctions. I want you to climb trees, sweat, and move, howl, and hug each other. You need to do more of this. We like to bond with humans or work with humans that have a full range of emotions. Some of you are way too careful in what you do, and you become armchair people, and you don't need to do that. Come dance with me in the moonshine. Thank you.
The Deva of Truth would like us all to know that while not every being represented here has spoken up to what they are committing, everyone who is here is committed and will always be here. Whenever you call, whether you name them specifically or not, those who have come will always show. That is their commitment to us. They will be here to support. Some are not sure how they will support yet, and some are wanting to keep the mystery a little while longer. But everyone here in joy, is here in collaboration, is here in love. That's all. All right, so now we're going to move on to our part. If you remember, I told you there's a podium on the floor of our space, and each one of us are going to walk up to that podium in our turn and make our commitments. Now, I did post this. I hope that everyone has had time to look at this, and if not, please scramble. We're asking for basically 5 things. One of them is optional. And the first one is simply your name. The second one is what part of the World Tree Collective are you here to represent? Are you here to represent the beavers or the bees, the dragons, the ravens, the weavers? I'm missing some, but you're understanding my point. Are you here to represent Wild Worlds, or are you here to represent the Divine Masculine or the Divine Feminine group, the children's group, the elders group, etc., etc.? Anything, any circle in the World Tree Collective is yours to be able to claim. So the third thing is, if you would rather be what was the word you used?
Well, coordinate or point.
If you would rather be a coordinator or point person, meaning that you are someone people can come to, you are someone who will most likely put together things to be able to work within your group, and you are most likely someone who would be coming to the entire World Tree Collective meetings to report, or would you like to be some sort of support? And if you are going to be one of the support people, are you willing to just be there for the in-person event? Are you willing to give time when you have it? Are you willing to do a meeting a month, whatever your commitment level is, so we know. The fourth thing is, what ally are you going to work with? All of these amazing beings have shown up for us. Which one are you going to choose to stand with and be a voice for and allow them to actively work with you in your role? And then finally, the optional is, what do you bring to the table? What are you offering in your commitment? So I will go first to show you an example, and we will popcorn style from there down to the podium, say your piece to the whole collective group, and then pass it on to someone else. This isn't meaning to put anyone onto the spot, but it is meaning to keep it going. So, my name is Amita. I am going to be coordinating the weavers. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I have to stop. There is one thing I didn't say. Just because one person says they're a coordinator, we can have 5 coordinators in a group if that is what people feel called to. And that's kind of the point, is that we're all going to be doing our pieces. So forgive me, I'm going to start over. I forgot to say that. My name is Amita. I'm going to be a coordination for the weavers. I am representing the fairy weavers specifically as my ally, but all fairies work with me. What I bring to the table is my compassion, my visionary skills, my creativity, and my joy. Ingrid, would you go next, please?
I'm Ingrid, and I am volunteering to be a coordinator for the ceremonies. And the allies that have come forward to work with me specifically for this are Pan, Gaia, Cernunnos, and the Arcturians, though I work with and talk to many beings and they'll be in and out. My gifts that I bring are thresholds, crossing them, creating them, walking between worlds, communicating with any being, holding the other world consciousness, and being able to explore different portals and help other people see these things and integrate them.
And Ingrid, just because there isn't actually a ceremony group, are you referring to rites of passage?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And
It could have been like 5 different ones, but I'll probably support some of them.
and please call on someone.
Oh, yes. Let's see. Jan.
My name is Jan. I am stepping forward as an elder and can coordinate the elders. What I am bringing forward is that I have the experience of being with Fairy Congress almost since the beginning. So there's a lot of what I've learned, just boots on the ground. How do you do things? How do you coordinate? How do you how do you make things happen? A lot of that was learned just because it needed to happen and we figured it out. So I'm here as a support for support and guidance. The allies that come forward is a Sasquatch who is just very eager to work with. He just loves the Fairy Congress, and a very ancient black dragon. Thank you.
Please call on someone, Jan.
Terry.
My name is Terry Gilbert, and I am committing right now to supporting the Raven Collective, as well as the elders. And the allies that I'm representing right now are the trees and transformational entheogens. The gifts that I bring are organization, follow through, and resourcefulness, holding space, and being able to see, being able to be with and see the commitment behind communications. Douglas.
I'm Douglas Demers, and the bear role is, and coordinator of the bear role is what I'm volunteering for. I'm not exactly sure what unseen ally I work with that, so whatever one shows up, because mostly I'm dealing with the muggle world and that kind of thing. That would be what I'm offering. I think I answered that. Okay.
Fantastic.
Summer.
Yeah, so in reflecting on this, they kept saying Ravenheart. So I'm stepping forward to support the Raven role, but also to help take a coordinating role and support for the heart as well. And in the heart section, Gwinnett Nud is just like really there in partnership with a lot of different types of water, sacred water tenders and water spirits. And yeah, that role is really just a lot of love and compassion and also some fierceness. Gwinnett Nud, it's a little fierce sometimes. Yeah, and then for the Raven role, the Arcturians are stepping forward and they're like, yeah, we have some ideas about how you can make sure that things are communicated in a streamlined and clear manner that also has some interdimensional coding to what you're putting out there as well. So, yeah. And what do I bring to the Raven role is just I don't know. My sun is conjunct my Mercury and Leo in the ninth house. That's what I bring.
Summer, please call on someone.
Yeah. Lady Fern, would you like to go next?
All right. Back to the list. Okay. I was actually just trying to type it all in the notes so I could remember. I would like to represent in multiple teams in middle management position, if there's such an equivalency in this reality. Not as the top of the pyramid of the group, but not just the side fringes. Someone that can be the middle spoke of asserting action and networking amongst the elders in the brow chakra and wisdom lineage holders of the teachers, elders, and ritual leadership, etc. So would like to represent for the wild worlds and ferals and the divine feminine and masculine groups. I bring allyship of Pan and the wild god, the dark mother, the goddess of love and bliss and peace and beauty in all of her many forms, Tara, both of Ireland and the Himalayas, and the Finder Fairies and the Guardians of the Crossroads, and of course the Mothership Connection with the funky ET partying on the mothership, and many others. That's just coming through in the now. And trying to remember the other short answer essay questions. Name and function, allies, what I have to bring, experience of the Fairy Congress from the early days consistently through present. I've been at all of the locations, so I have a visual imagery of all the different places we've been, and I might not remember everybody's names, but at least I recognize faces and always have a listening ear for people, even sometimes to my own detriment, to be stopped with a random Q&A by the village at all times, whether I want it or not. It still seems to be my function. And when people go, Fern, I got a question, all I can do these days and go, yeah, I bet you do. And I got some answers, but I bet you they won't be short as you expect. But yeah, these are some of the many things I do and offer: hospitality services, herbal healing knowledge, and ritual crafting, group leadership for alternative lifestyle people who don't take kindly to bossiness but still need direction. That's one of my specialties. Herding hippies, it's a special art. And being happily sassy when needing to be bossy, so people are amused and want to listen to what I say and do as I direct. That's also a good skill, knowing when to stand forward and when to stand back and when to share power with others. These are many ways in which I lead by example and help with just delegating to share responsibilities amongst all so we can get things done without being overwhelmed. These are but a short list of my many skills, and I perpetually devote my service to this community throughout time, so long as it's auspicious to all of us involved. And I call upon my brethren, Calvin Conduit. Are you still in the circle? Tag, you're it.
Calvin. Okay, call in someone else, please.
Okay, if he's not here, let me think of someone else who needs to be called. Colleen, I want to hear from you. You are so present to hold space for everyone and be a gentle presence of listening for all. But I want to hear more from you. Connie, not Colleen, Connie. Connie, sorry.
Hi, I'm Connie Demers, and I'm new to this whole thing, and I'm just here to support Douglas in whatever way I can to help the Fairy Congress. Thank you. And I elect or call for Mary Water.
Mary,
You're muted.
Gotcha. Yeah, hello, I'm Mary Water, and this is so lovely. So I am committing to being with the Dragon group. I would be a supporter, but if there is no coordinators, then I would step into the coordinator role. I'd noticed that there was a number of other people that said that they were interested in that, but they're not here. So, um, let's see the questions. So the ally that I bring, I certainly have allies, the tree and a she ally, but Spider jumped in, and dragon is about relationship, and so I'm really aligned with Spider and connections. And so I'm glad Spider jumped in on this one. And what do I bring? Um, I really am good with relationships. Been doing them for a long time. And I have a lot of compassion and respect and passion for this group, this this intention. And my elderhood on lots of different levels. I really appreciate my history with the Congress and my history with people. So that's what I bring. And I call on Penny.
Hi, I'm Penny, and I would like to be in support of trees. I'm not sure I can be a coordinator, but I would like to support the Council of Trees. The relationships that I have are the Council of Trees, the Council of Flowers, the She, especially I bring forward the woman from the She Well and Tara, as well as Fern was talking about. My skill sets are, I would say my best skill set is networking. I cannot commit to be going to the in-person because I take care of my husband, but I can be a listening ear. I can help with coordination. I can help with problem solving.
And Penny, just to be clear, what position on the tree, like what circle on the tree were you working for? Um,
I didn't look at that. So
okay.
I guess it's a supporter. Is there a supporter of trees or plants or
Not
not?
really.
Not really.
Um,
Okay.
I don't know. Jan, can you pull up the tree so she can just see very quickly? Look at him. He's so good.
Oh,
Or,
you.
or scroll down to the list below that. Might be
Yes, go down
easier.
to the list.
Okay. Ritual care and healing.
Okay. Perfect. So that is the dragons, and you want to be a support for dragons. Yes?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Penny.
And I call on Joanne. Have you gone yet?
No,
Perfect.
um, I didn't get as much time on this, not at home, but it's hard to pick between a couple, but um, I definitely see myself in both in some of the weaver, some of the tree, and some of the ray, some of the dragon. Um, uh, Especially in the dragon, the relationship repair, supporting people in relationship repair, if that is how we mean it, like actually in physicality at the Congress, is that one of the dimensions of that?
Yeah.
But I have a 35-year history of this soul work and integrative transpersonal counseling and soul work. Um, so I offer that as well as just being a good mentor and mediumship between if there's struggle in relationship and the power of service of compassion and truth that really resonates with me. But also um, um, or the tree. I'm looking at the lower chart. Where is it? The throat one. Which one is that? The dragon.
The dragon is the
Oh no,
heart.
no, no. I just spoke about the dragon.
The raven is the throat.
Communication, Raven, Raven. Yeah, definitely communication. Um, Keeper, voice of coherence. Um, and then eldership. Not that I've some of you have been gone to the Congress longer, but it's more I just I've been a presenter there twice in tree communication. I've had a really long history with the Fae and the She community of this island, Vancouver Island, and a very close one with an overlaying She of the coastal region here for 20 odd years. I am a herbalist as well, and my developing my cross species and bringing out my cross species or animism, if you want to call it, relationship really evolved from a lot of wild harvesting on Vancouver Island, and that relationship just grew, and I have many years of that, and it evolves, and it's a blessing in my life. Yeah, I see myself like as an elder in some of those regards, and is it okay to sort of blend a little bit between a couple of the areas?
Yes, of course, you can be in more than one circle.
And you know what I bring also is like my background in soul work uh, and counseling, my cross species communication relationship with nature and the plant world and the animal world, and I think I have an ether dragon that's been showing up in the last little while, who I actually met in one of our larger group experiences. Actually, the very last one we had at the very last Congress that was at Scalitude. And I think I'll be working with that. That will be as well as the trees. And the Divine Feminine is saying the Divine Feminine. Is there anyone else left?
Oh, yes. There's Vince. Calvin has not gone. I don't think Devin has gone. Jess. And I think that's
Right?
it.
I'll pass it on to Jess.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jessica. I am committing to coordinator of the bee. I have a long history with food and nourishing the minds, hearts, and souls of all I can. And see, my guides are I have a dragon guide that I work with, as well as the trees and the fae. I also would like to help to support the Weaver and Wild Worlds groups as well. Like I said, I'm kind of in transition right now, so I will see what that looks like as things progress. Yeah. I bring my experience in food and tea and preparation, my vision and intuitive guidance. I'm in service and support organization. I love to organize things, and I'm all about the hospitality. So, yeah, that's, I think, a good amount of things for me. I have a lot more, but I think that's a good start.
Perfect. And then call on either Vince, Calvin, or Devin.
How about Vince?
Hi, my name is Vince. I commit to coordinating a coordinating role with the Circle of the Divine Masculine. I think it's the support circles to the World Tree are very important for helping not just support the actual function of the Congress, but to help people integrate, especially as we move through a lot of the changes and transitions that are happening. I stand with and have been a voice for the guardians of space and time, and they would like to remind everybody that if you don't think you have enough time to devote to Congress, you can just make some. Good luck with that. And that all things will happen as they need to in space and time, because everything, as you know, time's a construct. Anyways, I also would love to support the Beavers in bringing together the actual physical logistics of the in-person events that we're all actually here to support and create. I bring, one of the things that I bring is I have a 30-year career in events and meetings, mostly on the technical side of things, doing audiovisual support. And hopefully we grow Fairy Congress to the point where we do need a large audiovisual support presence for our gatherings to make sure everybody is heard. So I stand ready to support the Beavers in that, and the entire Congress in growing and moving forward. What else did I need to do? Is that it? No.
No, that's it. You just have to call him either Calvin or Devin.
Calvin, you're here with us again. Go for it. You have to unmute.
All right, blessings, everyone. Well, first off, I just feel to say it is so beautiful and so humbling and so encouraging all at once to witness all of you in your devotion and your depth. And wow, it's just so amazing to get to co-create with you guys. And I feel, called in a lot of ways by life recently to. You guys hear the rooster call right then? I don't know if you guys could hear that, but yeah, I've been called in a lot of ways to step up, and one of the reasons for that is I am sort of uncle / sort of step-in dad for a 3 and a 5-year-old, 2 little ladies, and yeah, just helping so much more directly tend to this next generation has got me so galvanized. But yeah, I'm Calvin. I'm grateful. Many of you know me as Compost.
Into Calvin.
I'm stepping into the name Conduit, and that is, that is a reminder and a magic spell on myself that divinity can move through us, especially when we clear our channels. And that is what I've been practicing in some ways and looking forward to deepening into. And so, I feel to say that before I step into other things, here is honestly my primary ally I'm working with in the tangible realms is Earth, Earth herself. It's when I committed my soul to service of Mother Earth, that is when I feel like my intuition and my magical connection to all that surrounds us here really woke up. And so that is part of how I know that the Earth Mother walks through me intentionally and with my full consent. I also feel to say that I am here to be co-creating with Source, with the All. God and Goddess, are the sort of first division out from the monad in my conception. And, I think the reawakening of Christ consciousness is by no means mutually exclusive to the deepening of our earth magic and the reawakening of our earth magic. And actually they go hand in hand. And, you know, I don't claim to be like a walking embodiment of Christ consciousness or anything, but I'm here to step into that more and more and inspire others to do the same. And I know that many are feeling that call. I am here to commit wholeheartedly to showing up in complete service in person, to, holding rites of initiation. I'm happy to lead and hold any circles. I'm happy to play MC. I don't mind using my rather loud voice. And I genuinely hold the reverence that allows me to, in my heart and soul, feel good about that, because I know it's not about me. And I also know that sometimes somebody needs to say the thing and hold the space and keep the circle moving. And yeah, I'm not shy, as you might have noticed. But in terms of the tree, I feel my role is most belongs in the heart with the dragon energies and with tending to our community and conflict resolution, as well as keeping the heartbeat flowing. Of course, one of the most bonding and what am I trying to say here? One of the things that most allows our like skeptical mind to come out of the way and for us to drop in is song. And I am a song carrier, and I love to play drums, and I love to bring people into that that reverence and that reverie and the revelry and all that goodness through song. And I am also here to hold um, circles around the divine masculine energies and keep that tended to and keep those conversations going. I've been called in a number of different ways that need not gone into here to practice having those hard conversations with my brothers of lots of kinds. And that has led me to a deeper awareness of like, oh shit, uh, we get to keep having these conversations. And that's for serious. There's a lot of unhealed shit and programming that the masculine has to work through collectively. And I have been working through my own as best as I can with the inspiration of many people and also with the perspective of some very divine feminine energies who've lived long enough to give a really deep reflection on what to be a whole and healed, well and wise elder in training on the masculine end. I am noticing that I have a way of just talking and talking, and I know there are a whole bunch of people here. And so what I am committing to 100% service in person. I am aware of my patterns of being somewhat inconsistent with digital communications, and I am committing to pushing that edge and doing so in a sincere and ongoing way. I also need people to know that I am about to step into maybe the most serious road trip of my life. I just fell in love a couple months ago, and my love has these two daughters, and we are all for jumping onto a rainbow caravan of beautiful, funky peoples to go to the Lakota reservation and plant 1,500 trees across 3 different sites on the res. And that will require a lot of presence. And then we're going to the National Rainbow Gathering to help set up water lines and be one of the biggest, most wholesome kitchens and keep the heart songs going and da 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 da. So that is a lot of the next 2 months for me. I also will have some time on the road. Obviously, a lot of that is driving. But I'll also be tending to the girls and getting to know the people and blah blah blah. So I just want to put that out there that my presence may be a little bit patchy in terms of digital stuff, but any of the main Zoom calls, I will do my utmost to be here for, and I would love to help. Yeah, Vince, you and I can get in touch about talking about the divine masculine. I'd love to be part of any circles with the dragon and the heart, and yeah, rites of passage is really important for me. Um, I'm stepping into conduit, but I also very much carry the spirit of the sacred compost, and I love helping people step out of the chapter that they're closing and fully transition into the next chapter in various ways. And yeah, honestly, I really do feel to shout out our plant allies and our fungal allies who, master plants and um, spirit of the psychedelic fungus. Um, they have helped probably every single person here multiple times and are honestly, I feel still to many a rather untapped resource. Um, Partially due to fear or just uncertainty. And I have no specific agenda or explicit suggestion here, but I would like to just open some curiosity around how people would feel about microdose ceremonies or holding space for more serious journeys for people. That's an
Hey,
open-ended question.
Conduit,
Yeah.
let's keep
Mhm.
that for a meeting. Okay, this is just
Yep.
commitment, not just we're already 10 minutes over for Ingrid's thing, and we still got people to go. So thank you so much. I
Yes.
love you. You know
Um,
I do.
I love you too, and that, yes.
So let's call on Devin so we can get this part complete. Okay, love?
Yes.
Thank you.
Lots of love.
So I'm Devin Kawadio, aka Devin Satugara. My magical name Satugara means builder of bridges, and it also means bridge. And I think the area that I feel called to step up into is I think it overlaps maybe several groups, which is something we could iron out, but kind of like a central hub of support. Um, I I would like to support, well, pretty much every group, and I think that there's a way to do that where we can sort of set up regular meetings and have check-ins and things like that. But essentially, it seems like the main overlap that I'm seeing is between like supporting the elders, beaver, bear, deer, raven. It's kind of a lot of things. I I have a background as a shamanic priestess from and working with Orion Foxwood for like the last 15 years on fairy seership. I also have years of experience leading nonprofits, and I also have ADHD and kind of learned how to turn that into a strength through organizational tools. Um, and then again, it's like I keep finding myself wherever I go through life from the time I was little until I was directing organizations, sort of like being a central hub or a bridge, bringing people together and kind of being able to sort of manage the connections. So I don't know what group that would be specifically, but I'm interested in being an organizer or co-organizer of that capacity. Um, let's see, made a bunch of notes. So basically, your resident kitten herder, which is sort of what I said in our last meeting. Um, which also kind of echoing what Lady Fern said at some point, one of the things I bring to the table is being able to be compassionate and also sort of be firm when needed. I think it's reflective on what my fairy companion brought forth earlier as far as creating a container and needing to have a solid container in order to, contain the energy so we can build it and put it where we need it to go. So that's something I've gotten pretty good at. As far as what I'm bringing to the table, I've said a little bit of that already. I also seem to have an ability to, like through compassion and empathy, to connect with people. And so, which I think, I don't know, I think that's the bridge thing with me. I have somewhat of at least a personal connection with each of the founders and elders. I'd really like to support that. I have a background in healing, and so I'm hoping that's maybe something that I could help with. I'm kind of getting up to speed here on what's been going on because I was out of the loop for a little bit, but felt very strongly called to get involved. My life has sort of gone through some changes where I have time that I would like to commit. And I can commit to that on a regular basis, being in the in-person gathering as well as monthly or every couple of weeks meetings, and sort of keeping track of, as the central hub of all the different groups and, what's going on with all of that. Let's see what else. I also love ritual crafting and leading. That's something I could support. Also, another thing I bring to the table is parenting and grandparenting. And I've been bringing my kids to the Congress for a while. I guess it's only been a handful of times that I've been able to go, but they always had a really good time and always were like, where's all the rest of the kids? So that's something I would also like to support. And if there's nobody else stepping up as organizer for that, that's something I could also do pretty easily, and or support. And during every single time that I did go to the Congress in person, I had countless people coming up and saying, "Oh, so glad your kids are here. And it's so great to have the children's energy. And we need more of that." So I definitely have a lot of ideas about how to maybe make the space more welcoming and integrating children a little bit more. And I could go on, but I think you get the idea. So.
Welcome, Devin. Thank you. And welcome to everyone. Thank you all so much for giving of yourself in this way. And that's not just from me personally, that's what I'm hearing to say is thank you all for showing up. Thank you all for giving of yourself in this way. And there's just a lot of excitement. This is coming from one of the fairy weavers named Sarah. And that is, she says it is Sara, except the R is like an L, so it's like, I can't quite say it, like Sarah, basically. And she is the one stepping up to finalize the ceremony. She says, okay, the serious note. And it is just a note. What we are doing here is something that has been wanted and desired for so very long, and very few of us have ever imagined that it would even be possible, much less that we would be here today. The very first of us spoke of this long, long ago, and most of us dismissed it as a fairy game. Imagine if, what if, it will never happen. And here we are. Thank you. We are so grateful to be here. We are so joyous to share. Thank you. We are here, and so are you. And this is a monumental occasion. Thank you. We love you. One final thing, close your eyes. If your eyes are not closed, close your eyes and feel back into your heart space. Feel us there. Feel you there. All of you there. Create a space for this there. A place where even when we close this coning, even when we move away from this meeting, we are together. If you desire, it will be fun. The commitment part of the ceremony is done. Again, thank you. Now, Devin, do you want me to leave this coning, not Devin, forgive me, Ingrid, do you want me to leave this coning open and we just take a quick bathroom break and you go ahead, or do you want me to close the coning?
Yes, I was just about to text you, please keep it open. So what I was thinking is I will give a general description of what we'll be doing with the coning still open, and then we can take a quick 5-minute break to get cozy and then come back.
Perfect. And I just want to say as my final word, thank you all. And I know this has been long, but we are on fairy time. So thank you all for your patience.
And we'll just make some more time.
Right, we'll just make some more time to make up for it. All right, Ingrid, I am passing it on to you.
Okay, thank you, Amita. That was beautiful and wonderful, and thank you, everybody else. So after we take a quick break, we'll be coming back and deepening our own roots into the earth and meeting at the base of the Fairy Congress World Tree. There is already a space that's been created where we can each have our own little personal temples, and then there are spaces inside for various things we may want. There is a special temple where you walk through an energizing, cleansing flame. And when you're inside this, anybody that you are inside with, you can act as a collective consciousness with, and the space is specifically designed for that. So this will be more of a guided experience where it's kind of a tour, and then there'll be some time left for you to explore and build your own spaces. And the idea is that you can come back anytime you want and interact with each other, bring other beings in. The only qualification is that your intention is for the highest good of Fairy Congress. So, yeah, if everybody wants to take a 5-minute break, I will see you then. Also, my power is out, so it will continually get darker over here. Okay. Before we get started, is everybody comfortable with this? Does anybody have any questions or anything?
You're guiding us through this, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
All right. So let's drop back into our infinity symbol connections to each other, our guides, our allies, all of the beings that are with us for this experience. And let's drop our or feel our feet on the ground and allow tree roots to grow deep down into the center of the earth. And as we're doing this, I'm bringing in an interdimensional energetic curtain that holds all of our energy. So let's meet at the base of the Fairy Congress World Tree and feel everybody's presence as we all stand on the roots. This realm that we will be visiting is attached to the trunk of the Fairy Congress World Tree. But we will be entering through the center. So as a group, notice a very, very bright, vibrant flame. This is the energetic center of this world that we are going to. And we're going to move up through this flame as we enter into this world. Once we are in this world, notice a large ring around the fire. There are gnomes. They may offer you some beer or a drink. And just take a minute and look around. There is a lot to see here. Off to one side or in a certain area will be your special place. The temple may already exist, or it may be a place that you feel called to go immerse yourself in and start to build a house, a temple, a little hut, whatever fully represents you and the gifts that you wish to share with this place and anybody who comes knocking on your door. This will be representative of your connection to this place. It can change shape and size. It can be as big or as small as you want. And it's for you to call in or add anything that you need or desire. Give it space to also create itself. Feel into the energy around you and the energy of the world we're now standing in. And you might notice things just appear that feel like they belong. anytime back, you make additions or changes to this space. Also find that you get into other places to learn from other people. But now, for sake by to our temples or huts and walk back to the fire ring. So
I can't hear her anymore for about a minute now.
I
Anybody
dropped off.
else?
Can you hear me
Okay.
now?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. It dropped.
It's
My
your like
power is out. So,
that's all right. That's all right.
okay. But we're all still in the space. So, most of our huts and temples are directly behind us now. Some people may have theirs in a different space, and that's okay. They'll be exactly where they need to be. To one side of this fire ring, directly behind the flames, is a wigwam, and it is also a temple. This is a very high frequency place that you need to walk through the fire to get to. And once you do, any beings inside will be able to act as a collective consciousness if they wish. This place has been energetically calibrated specifically to hold this space. It's long and tunnel shaped with 2 rows of seats on each side. And at the very back, there's an altar space. If at the conclusion of whatever meeting or resolution you come to, an item appears or you create one that cements or anchors the energy of the meeting, it can be placed on the altar, but this is completely optional. So if you haven't already, let's walk through the flame and into the wigwam. And notice how the energy feels. Right now, it's not very cohesive yet. So let's each set an intention to interact for both our own highest good and for the highest good of the group inside this wigwam and for the highest good of Fairy Congress. So that when we enter into this space, the cohesive field that surrounds us in the tunnel will hold that shared frequency of this intention and any other intention that we enter with. In this resonant field, feel free to put forward a question telepathically that you would like to be received and answered by the group. And notice how you receive the answer. Is it a knowing? Do you see it printed on the wall? Do you hear it? Is it a subtle shift? Is there anything else that you would like to receive from this space? Any new level of clarity, perhaps? When you feel complete with those questions, come back out the way you came in, walking through the flame to ground any residual energy and bring you back into your own center. And we can stand around the fire once again. The fire is also a very special place where you can throw in ideas. It's not only cleansing and energizing and holding the life force of this realm, but it also carries your energetic contributions and things you would like to see manifested for Fairy Congress. In the future, you can go into the wigwam by yourself and invite your guides in or your allies and act as a collective consciousness with our other world allies as well. I definitely encourage you to explore. Now, letting go of this experience and leaving it at the fire and wigwam and in its appropriate place, walk in the other direction into the woods. Here there is a deep pool with a waterfall. And this is where mermaids live. This pool is very cleansing and clearing, so if that's something you ever feel that you need, and you feel aligned, you can jump into the pool. Or it can be a space where you just sit and talk to the mermaids, or any other beings that show up. Because every time I come here, there are more, and they keep coming. And then past the pool with the mermaids, further down the path through the woods, there's a very tall, multi-level, multi-dimensional crystalline building. This is the library. And in this building, you can leave packets of your knowledge to share with others and receive information that has been left there by us by people who will join later, by Fey beings and ETs and any other being in this place that wishes to contribute. And it has different layers and levels and dimensions to it. And many beings are already adding and contributing. Elves, Arcturians, and many others. And if you turn around and walk directly away from the front, you will find yourself back at the fire circle. This place will add to itself and will continue to grow. And I encourage all of you to continue to add what you would like to see here. It has its own deva, it has its own life force. And many, many beings are excited about bringing their knowledge here. It's a place that we can congregate and have fun. Oh, and I also see a dance hall. So there's a place for celebration and joy. So I'm going to give you all a few minutes to just wander and explore on your own. Maybe you want to go back to your personal hut. Maybe you want to go explore any of these places. Maybe you'll see something new. Let's make our way back to the central fire pit from wherever you are. Say goodbye to any beings that you've been talking to and thank them for their gifts and their presence. And once we're all back at the fire, this would be a good time to throw in any comments or suggestions into the fire telepathically that you have for Fairy Congress. And then we can go back down through the center of the flame and find ourselves back at the base of the Fairy Congress World Tree. Take a moment to ground ourselves to the roots. Maybe put your hand on your heart and your solar plexus and call yourself back into your human body. Call yourself back from all realms, all dimensions, all spaces and planes. And then come back into the room. And whenever you're ready, if anybody has anything they'd like to share or comment on, let me know.
Great job, Ingrid. When I was exploring by myself, I wound up in an ale house where I was offered a flagon of ale or a skin of mead. I couldn't have it the other way, and Hobbs and I don't get along. So I ordered a skin of mead. And I was just starting to drink it when you called us back. I'm very sad.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you can go back and drink it when we're done.
Oh,
Or maybe you
absolutely.
can manifest it in front of you.
Right. But really, great job. Thank you.
Thank you. How was everybody else's experience of that? Was there anybody who had trouble getting in there? Okay, good. Well, yeah, so this is a space where we can now interact with each other outside of time and space. And I've even gone in the wigwam to form a collective consciousness with projects I'm working on. So use your imagination, you know, enjoy it, build things, add things. Let's have a party.
Ingrid, is there a name for this space? The whole space?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I was just calling it like a collective realm where we could all meet, but we could give it a name or ask it for a name.
I think
It's
it
the
needs
name.
a name.
Is it not the
Huh?
Fairy Congress World Tree?
It's attached to the world tree, but the world tree is a separate being, so it's kind of outside of the tree.
We could just call
We
it
can.
something very indie, like The Root.
I, I like the collective realm. We know it's the collective realm of the Congress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
The
Yes.
realm
But
room.
the collective root is also good, but the collective realm.
I mean, we can't go wrong with the World Tree, the Fairy Congress World Tree, even if that's what we're calling the council's name. I mean, that is still the binding tie that connects us in all the realms.
True.
But the world tree itself is its own entity that we've
Oh,
created.
yes.
So this is separate from that, is what I think Ingrid's trying to say.
Yeah, it's attached to the side of the tree, but it's not the tree.
Yes, but it's at that tree, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, so when we were standing at the roots, it was directly above us. But then, so if it was coming off the side of the tree, then we entered through the fire, which is the center. So we kind of just went up and over.
I'm curious
Well,
something.
if I might add, when I at the very end, I had a visualization beside the tree, beside the wigwam and the sacred fire. I saw a stone circle, and a labyrinth. And then when I looked closer, I realized the stone circle was not any stone circle, but our magic stone circle at Scalitude, of course, so we can still stay in connection with that land. And even though that's not the only place we're ever going to have Fairy Congress, and there's many other places that may still come to us, it's still a psychic portal beacon that not only our human embodied people know, but many of our elemental and otherworldly allies still know to come through there. And it just seemed like a really good thing to put into the remembrance of people, that we can always still connect through that portal near or far. And that the devas of Scalitude and the Methau Valley and all of the beings who've been meeting up through that portal for so long will still want to be able to remind us that we can always still connect through that, you know, either in the ethereal temple realms or in our hearts and minds and imagination.
That's beautiful and very exciting. Thank you for adding that.
Yes. I love that.
Me too.
How will we connect in the 3D after this? Like, will it be a collective email? Are we doing anything like that, or?
Well, the Fairy Congress has an email list. Or are you talking about specifically for this realm?
For this group?
For the World Tree Collective that we just did the ceremony of commitment for?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay. I mean, for that,
we...
that's the email list. That's the Fairy Family Tribe.
Also, Mighty Networks.
There's a meeting on Tuesday, right? For the those putting this together. I can't remember what we're called. Organizers? Organizers.
Yeah.
Online. It's an online meeting Tuesday night at 5? 5 to 7? 5 to 6:30? No, 6? 5 to 6?
Is that PST?
Organizers of what? Of what aspect of the Congress?
The World Tree Structure.
Oh.
World Tree Collective, all of us.
So what we just all committed to.
Oh, okay.
But then
So
we
there's
would
already...
be going as our part now, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
With permission, if it sounds good to everybody, I'm happy to kind of go back through the recording and make some notes. And if there's a meeting already set for this Tuesday, was it 5 to 7 PST? Then I could kind of be prepared to kind of organize what we've got so far and go from there. I've been working with
No, I have it wrong. It's the 26th.
26th.
Not this Tuesday, it's the 26th.
Is it 26th? Okay, thank you.
It's 5 to 6:30.
5 to 6:30. Okay, perfect. And I've kind of gotten a little bit of a start working with Jan and Summer. Welcome back, Summer, if you're still here. Yeah, if it sounds good to everybody, then I can kind of organize, just kind of get everything into some documents, and when we have the meeting, then we can go through stuff and plan from there. Is everybody here familiar with Google Drive or Docs or anything like that, and or willing to take that on? Which I'm willing to like do a quick tutorial with anybody who's willing but not familiar yet. I think it'd be really, really helpful for us to have a central location where all of the information can be. And yeah, okay, so then I can address that at the meeting too. Like if there's anybody who needs some help with that, then we can set that up as well. And then meantime, I kind of already created some folders and documents and stuff with what I got so far, and flesh that out a little bit more. And also, I'm going to put my email in the chat here. So if anybody doesn't have it and there's anything you want me to include or whatever, then hit me up.
You know about the Mighty Network organizers feed, right?
Yes. Yeah. I think that's another good hub. And I think that's really great for messaging and communication. I think we also maybe need like a little cauldron for documents and just tracking things like on the kind of the business end of stuff. So I think I said this at the last meeting too, like I don't want to step on toes and come in and just like take over. So if
if I'm sort of trying to implement something that isn't working for everybody, I'm totally open to suggestions. But meanwhile, I think it's a good cauldron to kind of put everything in, and then we could see how it goes. And yeah, so feel free to like me.
Amita, are you going to close the coning?
I can, absolutely. Devin, are you putting your email in the chat? I actually have my pen out so I can
Yes.
write it down.
Yeah, I'm
I
putting it
will
in there right now.
I have a question that's still relates to the meetings. I've been hit or miss of actually getting contacts of when the meetings are happening. Sometimes I'll see it through email, sometimes I'll see it on the Mighty Networks, but I don't follow the Mighty Networks like every day, all the time to like know how to get all the messages. For a while I turned on the notifications, but then I was getting bombed with too many. I've been just trying to have a find the right way to actually follow up with what our meeting structure is going to be. Because some of them are different themes, some of them are just meditation or heart groups. Some of them seem to be more business meetings, overview. And then I know in the future we're going to have spin-off meetings for each group. So where should I be looking for my primary source of where the calendar is to know when the upcoming meetings are? Is that going to be through the Mighty Networks under schedule somewhere into the calendar?
Under the chat. And yeah, I
Don't
think
you, doesn't
event.
Jan send it out? Doesn't Jan send it out in an email?
Yeah, that's how I knew about this, was because of email that was that came through. So I did
That's
catch
one.
that.
And technically, whoever signed up to be the Raven will be the one who sends that out. Jan has been acting as an amazing Raven, and he took on a different role as of tonight.
So, and that's something I can help structure a little bit too. And I can check in with Jan and or whoever between now and the next meeting and kind of set it up so that there's like a really clear place, and then everybody just needs to make sure they're tapped into that place. But I totally get it when you're on like a social networking thing. Depending, I'm still getting to know my networks a little bit. I'm not super familiar, but I understand what it's like to get bombarded with notifications to the point where the stuff you actually want to see gets buried. So, and I think it'll help, like, as soon as we have sort of like the leaders or organizers of each group sort of determined, then we can go from there, because we can have sort of team meetings for the team organizers to get together and we're on the same page, and then you can organize your own groups accordingly. So that's something I've kind of been working on in the background as well, and we can clarify it at the next meeting if that sounds good.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So let's close this thing down. If you would just close your eyes and again envision the infinity loops, the one connecting you to all of the other realms, all of the other beings. Go ahead and just allow that to dissipate, allow it to fade back into your heart center. That light that is you, call it back to you. We thank all of the beings that have come to be with us tonight. You are free to go. Please come and hang out anytime you want to. I believe we're all open for that. And if not, of course, respect boundaries. Go ahead and take the infinity loop that you have with the building itself, and go ahead and allow that to dissipate and bring that light back into your heart center. And we let go of the amazing space that we built for this evening. And go ahead and take the infinity loops that we have with each other, all of the ones we created tonight. Please go ahead and just allow that light to dissipate back into your heart center. Knowing that we're changed by this ceremony and truly connected, whether we're held by light or simply by trust. And finally, go ahead and take that infinity loop that's energizing you and running through you and pull all of that light back into your heart center. Tuck it in there where it belongs. That beautiful version of you. We now close the coning. And we phoenix all that stuff back to itself. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, this has been absolutely amazing. I'm so honored to be here. This is awesome. And it is now almost 10:15 here on the East Coast, and it is way past my bedtime. So feel free to hang out, talk, whatever you want to do, but I gotta go. Mwah.
Much
Thank
love,
you, Amita.
everybody.